morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had.
Pause it for a second there. You all heard that? We all knew that this was because of Charlie Kirk's political views and what he stood for, as a matter of fact. And, I'm going to say some stuff at the end of this video, but, let's keep watching because I have a few stuff to say. I just don't want to interrupt it too much. I want to get you guys to watch more of this versus hearing more of me. So let's continue watching.
The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits.
Sometimes when a lot of these assassinations are planned, especially these days, these guys that are killing people and assassinating people and shooting people, they're not like the guys from the older days. Back then it was hard to trace those guys, but of course we have more cameras now. But what I'm saying is, kids like these, I think he's 22 years old, they usually leave behind a trail. They don't know how to clean up the trail. The first thing they do is you got to check their social media pages. In this case, it was Discord. Check their socials because they're always saying something. They speak, hey, you know what? They give away themselves. The first thing you do is check their socials because they usually lash out. They usually post all types of stuff, and that's usually how they get caught.
I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point."
Once I heard that word fascist, this already tells me this was a far left liberal. Once you hear these words, because this is what the Democratic Party has fed to these people: racist, fascist, Hitler, and all different types of words that the Democratic Party themselves has been feeding to people, and after a while, they brainwash these kids. They brainwash their liberal followers into really believing that people who stand on truth or stand on their own political views and do not agree with them or agree with what they agree with, that everybody else is a fascist. Some of them don't even know the meaning of the word. I've never heard this word before Donald Trump started running for election. And I'm talking about the second term. The first term, they were calling him a bigot and all types of different words they were calling him. They always come up with these phrases. They always come up with these insults when it comes to Donald Trump. And in this political season, the main word that was being tossed around, every liberal was using it, was fascist. Hey, fascist, fascist this, fascist that. I'm tired of these people. And this tells you who they are. They will go to the length to even murder somebody just to silence a person's opinion.
Arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow, Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
Wow. You know what? We're going to stop it right there. But let me say this before we go. You could watch this you could watch the rest of it on Sky News. Shout out to Sky News. I got to give them their credit. But here's what I got to say in closing, y'all. Charlie Kirk didn't deserve that. He was a husband. He was a father. He was a realist. He spoke truth. He stood 10 toes down. And that's what we want in today's world. We want people to be expressive and stand 10 toes down on what you believe, whatever it is. Whether you're aligned with that person or not, it's totally fine. Stand on what you believe in. But don't try to take someone else's life just because you do not align with those people. And another thing, after watching this video, this tells me that this person, this young kid, was actually practicing, because that shot, it was precise. It was precise. So he was practicing. He knew this time was coming. He got the rifle. He was practicing. And it wouldn't surprise me if they trace some type of outdoor range, where you could do outdoor practice on targets. So that's one of the things that came to mind. But as per usual, people like this, they usually leave a trail behind and they get caught. Now, my question to you is, do you think this kid deserved the death penalty or life in prison? Comment your answer down in the comment section. Thank you for watching. As per usual, God bless. Peace.